Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be on winter checking your cars before you put them away. So I was having some problems with my red Mini the other day. It was very sort of hard to start, which was really weird for this car because I've gone through this car completely electrically, and it's very reliable and it's very roadworthy. Now, I don't use it regularly, but I do take it out probably once a month for a drive, so I know that it's not actually a problem with the starting system at all in this car. But I did notice it was having some issues with the cold weather now that we're into November. So I wanted to do basically some simple checks you can do to the electrical system to make sure that your car is in top-notch shape before it goes into the winter season. And what we're going to do is actually going to start by doing a battery check. So let me take you to the boot and we'll do some tests on the battery. So here we are in the boot, as you can see. And the first thing I always do is double check the quality of these connections, make sure there's no looseness to the connections. These were fairly clean and fresh when I put this car on the road about 3 or 4 years ago. And I know these connections here, the grounding strap, the connections to the battery, all this was nice and shiny. I also coated everything with dielectric grease. So I know that I'm not having a connector problem. However, I will double check these at some point. But what we're going to talk about is just battery health. So this is a Group 26 battery. This is a 600 cranking capacity battery, so it's a very large battery. Now, one of the first things I'll do when a car comes into my workshop is I'll check the date. And if we look over there in the corner, we can see that this is a 8 of 2019 battery. So not all cars will have a sticker like that, easy to read. Sometimes you just have to read it off of the code up here. But either way, figure out how old it is first, because that'll give you an indication of roughly how much life you might have left. So for instance, if this said 2025, I would know that this battery is fairly fresh and that maybe my problem starting this car isn't actually related to the battery. But at 2019, this is a 6-year-old battery, so I have not been getting many more years than 7 roughly on batteries, so I feel very concerned that this battery might actually be going bad. So the next thing I want to do is hook up my Foxwell battery tester. I am not sponsored by them, I simply just have one. And right away, we can see that this battery is at 12.57 volts. That's kind of low for arrested voltage for a battery. Normally you want to see these around 13 something. And this is showing to me just a little bit low. So with one of these battery testers, it gives you several questions about the battery before it actually runs its test. So let's go ahead and enter the menu system. So 12 volt, it asks for the type of battery, whether it's in the vehicle or out of the vehicle, a top post battery, and it's a regular lead acid filled. Now it'll give me the option to put in the battery information. This battery is a 600 cranking capacity, so I went ahead and edited this already, so 600 cranking capacity. And we wait for it to test. So it asks, is it cold out? I'm like, yeah, it's above 0. So it says surface charge detected, and it's going to want me to turn on the headlights. So I need to turn on the headlights before I take off that surface charge that it has, and then it'll run the test. So let me go turn on the headlights. Headlights on, and now I come off. Okay. So now it's running the test, and we can see that it says good recharge. If I go back to that menu here, it says it's got 456 cranking capacity out of the 600, which is nice to see. Now, let's go ahead and check the other health meters. So we're at 63% state of charge and 64% state of health. So this battery is getting fairly weak. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the charger, get it full, get it to 100% state of charge, and we'll just go from there. Now, I'm not going to start the engine for this test, but I'm just going to charge it up 100%, and then we'll recheck the numbers. So I now have the charger hooked up, and it's charging, as we can see here on this little orange light, and I've told it that it's a lead acid battery because it has the option between lead acid and AGM. So we just need to let this sit overnight until it's fully charged. Now, because this is a 600 cranking capacity battery, it does take quite a bit of time to recharge its battery. As we saw on the state of charge indicator, it was around 60%, so it's going to take a few hours in order for this battery to get fully topped up. So I'll just let it sit overnight, and we'll check it in the morning, and we'll see what the battery indicator says on that. If we check the battery indicator in the morning, and it says it's in very good shape, battery-wise, I need to do a little further investigating because maybe potentially I have a problem with my connections back here, or maybe up at the starter. I don't know. But I just need to start with the battery first, and we'll go from there. So I put the battery on the overnight charger, and it's showing green, so it's fully topped up with this charger. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and then let the battery just rest for probably, I don't know, 12 hours or so before I even try and retest it with the Foxwell. I don't want to test it with the Foxwell right now because it'll just show 100% charged and good. So I need to let the charge rest in the battery before I attempt to test it. And I'm also going to test it with the carbon pile load tester that I've used in my alternator videos, just to see what the actual current capacity is under heavy load. We'll see what the voltage goes to. So those are the two tests that I'm going to do, but I need to let this battery rest before I can do that. So we're back to the battery test. Now, I've let this car actually sit for about a week. I was out of town for about a week, and it's been off the charger for a week, so we're going to go and redo the test. Now, it's saying 12.75 volts, which is pretty good. And we'll go ahead and do the test again now that it's been charged and sat. It is a cold day in here. It is about below zero, -4 Celsius, so I will have to run this tester in a slightly different function. Here we go. Temperature below zero. So let's see what it says. 478 out of 600, not bad. And we are, come on, 100% state of charge, but only 79% state of health. So this battery could use a bit of exercising. Whenever I see that difference between state of health and state of charge, it means that there's some sulfur building up on the plates in the battery. So this battery needs to be exercised, essentially drained down and recharged fully to get some of the health back. But what we're going to do next is I'm actually going to do a load test to see what kind of load it can handle using my carbon pile load tester. So here is the carbon pile load tester. It is what it sounds like. There is a pile of carbon plates behind this knob that allows you to run a heavy current load through it, and it measures both the current and the voltage. So what we're going to do is, it's a 600 amp hour battery, so I need to apply a 300 amp load, and we'll observe the voltage at that loaded point, and we'll see if we're in the green zone or in the red zone. Now, you'll notice there's a slight stagger to this line here, and it's because at -1 Celsius, somewhere in the 9.5 volt is still okay for a battery at that temperature. But you notice the warmer it gets, the higher the voltage needs to be. And there's also a chart on the side here. It talks about the pass-fail range. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put a heavy load on it temporarily, and we'll observe what the voltage is. Now, if the voltage really drops low, then I know I need to replace this battery. If it stays right about in this sort of green zone, then I know it's okay. If it's above that, it's okay. So let's get this hooked up and do the test. So when I put this load in, it has to happen quickly. The system will get hot and it'll make a noise when I need to stop. So I just need to hit it, check the scale, and see where we're at. And here we go, stressing the battery. We can see it's already at 10 volts and dropping. And there we go. There's the battery test. So we were just on the edge of the staggered line around zero. It was still just slightly in the green, so this battery is kind of marginal. I suspect I'll probably need to replace this battery maybe next year, but I think this winter is going to be okay based on that reading. But you saw how the needle was dropping as I was applying the current load, and then the needle and the current load was sweeping up and the voltage was dropping. So that's how you run one of these carbon fiber load testers. You just observe where the needle ends up at on the voltage scale here. In fact, I'll do it again. Just a second test. But this is the heaviest load test you're ever going to do on a battery. Okay, here we go. Yep, we're still in the green. Cool. So let's retest the battery now that I kicked the crap out of it. 12.51. Okay. Let's see about doing the test. Still says good battery, 4.67. And come on, 89 and 78. So yeah, we just took a bit of juice out of the battery to do that test. So I'm just gonna put it back on the charger and top it back up again. And that's how you do a winter test, or at least how I do a winter test anyway. I find this voxel to be quite handy. I also find this load tester to be quite handy as well, because it's useful for checking batteries and also charging systems, as I showed in a previous video. So very useful for a shop to have. Or if you're just a hobbyist and curious about what's going on, you know, these are nice tools to have, especially if you have multiple cars to deal with. Now, one of the problems that this car has, as well as the rest of my cars, is that they typically either live outside under cover, far away from a power source. So if I happen to have a garage large enough to put all the cars in, I could run a trickle charger and keep all the batteries maintained. However, they're just too far away from the power sources, so they're not getting maintained properly with a battery maintainer. Now, if your car lives in the garage all the time, just get a battery maintainer, keep the voltage topped up on the battery, prevent the sulfates from forming on those battery plates, and your battery will last as long as it possibly can. So with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you appreciate it, and let me know in the comments below what you guys do with your batteries. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.